It's time for everyone's favorite topic. Dun 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 dun! Training! Hello, Football Manager World. You're watching the newest Football Manager channel on YouTube, FM American Style. Hey, welcome back to FM26. We are here at my Saint-Étienne save. I promise I am going to start playing the save. It's Friday night here in California. I intend over the weekend to get through the preseason to the first competitive matches of the season. I'm going to do that off camera. And when I'm back to you next week, we'll start playing the season. But today, I just wanted to give a tutorial on how to set up your training because I know it's something that confuses a lot of people. I know a lot of people find it boring and it is tedious. And so a lot of folks just leave it to their assistant managers. And I understand that if you want to do that. I leave my youth teams and my reserve teams, I leave the training on those guys to the assistant managers or to their head coaches, their managers on their teams. But for the first team, I do all my own training. So let's start with a couple of things. First of all, you can add a bookmark for training on the right here. So that's one thing you can do. There you go. You could click on that, or using my little search trick from the other day, you can search for it. And there you go, it pops up at the bottom. So either way, whether you click on the bookmark or you go through search, and I think it's also through squad, you'll end up on this screen. So I'm going to start at the macro level, the club level, and I'm going to work my way down to the individual player level. So first off, if we go to, well, coaching assignments, obviously these need to be updated when I get more coaches. So we'll come back to that at a later date. Hopefully while I'm simulating the preseason, I'll fill out the coaching team. The second thing you want to do is like this video, comment down below, hit that subscribe button. We're a new channel. We need every subscriber we can get. And make sure you hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching. The second thing you want to do is click on Training Intensity. And you'll remember these screens from FM24. You can set the intensity based on the condition of the player. So if they're completely gassed, you set them to no match or gym work. A little bit, you can set them to half intensity. When they get here, normal intensity is fine. And these two, I do double intensity because they can handle it. So there you go, double and double. And that's that. We'll close out of here. The next place to go is actually right here. It brought me to the screen I was going to go to next, and that's your training calendar. So the training calendar, you can reach a number of different ways. Here on your overview screen, if you click on your calendar in the middle bottom and then click on training, you're there, or through training and then clicking on the calendar. So this is just like FM24. You click on the date, you select what kind of training you want, whether it's overall or tactical or whatever you want, and you select the training method that you're looking for and you hit confirm, and there you go. It added defensive shadow play in this case to tomorrow's training. So that's how you add training sessions. This is your entire team. You can do 3 a day. I do 3 a day. I will give rest when I feel it's needed. And I also plan this out usually weeks in advance. Now, one thing that I'm disappointed about in FM26, I use notes a lot. I used to keep a note of the training that I had set up in advance, the weekly training sessions, so that I could rotate through all the different types of training. And I can't find notes anymore in the game. So apparently it's not here anymore. So I'm going to have to, unless I haven't found it yet, but if it's not here anymore, which I don't think it is, then I will have to keep my own notes outside of the game. So that's the second thing. That's your club training. It's the same as this calendar right here. And I usually do it a month in advance. So I'll do each month around the 1st, and then I'll go through the entire month, and then the next month rolls around. I'll have a note as to what training sessions I still need to do, and I'll just rotate through them. So I will rotate through all the training sessions, and they are all important. Even the community service and the team bonding, everything is important. Set pieces, everything you can think of, all of the training sessions are equally important. If you want to have a well-rounded team that trains well, you need to schedule all of the training sessions. So try to keep a schedule. Like I said, keep notes and make sure you go through your entire rotation every month, 6 weeks, however long it takes you. If you have a crowded schedule, it could take 6 weeks or maybe even 8 weeks to get through the entire rotation, but you should. So the next thing is individual training, and I'm going to show you a few different ways to get to it. So individual training here, you get player by player, which is great. You can set now in FM26, you can set the role. This is in possession role. So we're just going to set, I'm not saving these, I'm just showing you how it works. So we're setting in defender right, wing back, and then out of possession is on the right here. And you set it for defender right, well, let's say center back. Again, it doesn't matter. I'm not saving these. I'm just showing them to you. Then you can set an individual training focus. Let's say they need to work on free kicks or strength or whatever attributes you're looking for. So that's one way to get these guys training. The second way, see up here where it says detailed? You can click on that and you can go to list. And list is good because it's kind of the same thing. You can filter it, but I'll show you there's a little problem with the filter button here that they're going to have to fix. If you filter it, and let's say I wanted to see just goalkeepers, and I start by clicking all positions, I can't click anything else. Goalkeeper or filters gets hidden behind here. I guess I could do that. I didn't realize that until just now. But what you could do is go back to detailed and do the filter before you come out of detailed. So while you're in detailed, click on the filters, which is over here on the left on this screen. And I'm going to select goalkeepers. And I'll show you why here in a minute. So here's all my goalkeepers, but I want to show a list instead of detailed, because here's a trick. Let's say you want everybody who's going to play a certain position and role, you're going to train them all the same. Now I train my guys to play the positions and roles I'm going to play them in. I know sometimes you'll train people to play other positions or other roles. I'll only do that if I need versatility, or if it's a position or role I intend to use in a future season, but right now I can't, so I'll use training for that purpose. But let's say I wanted to set all my goalkeepers here to be in possession. If you go to position role, goalkeeper, ball playing goalkeeper, I can set all these guys at one time to ball playing goalkeeper. There you go. Now they're all learning that. And then I'll do the same thing for the defensive, for the out of possession. So training, you go down to individual out of possession training, goalkeepers, and sweeper keeper. So there you go. So now all of my goalkeepers are learning the same thing. So that makes it a little bit easier, but I'll show you even a third way. We're going to go to my first team screen here. Goalkeepers are still, it's basically the same screen, but there is a different way you can do it. Now I'll do the strikers because I have a couple of them that can only do strikers. So these two guys. The other way you can do it is just click to highlight them. I think it highlighted both of them. Yeah, okay, now they're highlighted. Again, they have to be checked. And now I'm going to set these both to, if I'm remembering my tactic correctly, and I changed it, so you'll get to see that when we continue the Saint-Étienne save. But for now, if I go to position role, this is the in possession. We have them going as poachers. And out of possession, those two guys individual out of possession. We'll go to strikers, and I believe I have them as center forward, but I'd have to check my tactic. Again, this is just to demonstrate how it's done. Now, this doesn't show up here on this Lelujo's squad view. You can add those columns, I believe. That's really good. In a previous version of FM, I actually created a view called Easy Training View. And so it had drop downs here that you could select as well. But that's not here right now. I might make that view again for FM26. We'll see. So that's the third way. That's the third thing you can do with training, is to set up the individual training player by player, or for groups of players. The fourth thing before I go to the actual players themselves, I'm going to show you mentoring. Now this is something that they changed in FM26. So mentoring, I used to have mentoring groups that had 10, 12 players in them. What I would do is I would create groups with different positions. So I would have my wingbacks and fullbacks all in one group. I would have my central defenders in another group, my goalkeepers in their own group, etc., etc. You can't do that anymore. You can't. I can't see a way to sort them by position. Now, if I learn all their positions, which I will eventually, then I can do it that way because I'll have it by memory. But you'll see here, create group. I can't change these columns. I can't add their positions. So I either have to guess what they are. I guess I could put my mouse over the little portrait thing here and it will show me what their position is. So, okay. But one thing that's really different is you can only put 3 guys in a group now. You cannot put more than 3 guys. So I'll show you. If I put 4 guys here, it shows up as red here. It says 4 out of 3, and I cannot confirm it. So I have to remove somebody. So, okay, so mentoring groups now can only be 3 people. So once you create a group, it shows who's the leader of that group, basically, and who's learning from them, what their influence is over each other. Now, these are color-coded. It shows up here what the colors are. I am visually impaired. I am partially colorblind. I have gone into the settings and tried to adjust the colorblind mode settings, and I can't tell the difference on any of them. So what I can tell you is that they're all influencing each other. So, okay, that's fine. But something that makes very little sense to me, I'll show you in a minute. We're going to delete that group, and I'm going to show you. So, okay, let's say you have your team leader here. You can sort, so that's good. My team leader is Lauren Sewer, the goalkeeper. That's great. If I find the other 2 goalkeepers, which were, actually I have 4 of them, but I can only put 3 in a group. Touré, I think, is one. Yes, he is. So we'll put him, and I don't remember. I think Oman here, maybe. No, he's a striker, but just for demonstration, we'll put those 3 in a group. So now I have the team leader, Lauren Sewer, and 2 guys from the other social group, and yet they're still influencing each other. Now this is telling me that Lauren Sewer has a lot more influence over Touré and Atman than they have over him, which makes sense. But the old way was easier to understand. I don't really, I'm having some trouble understanding this part. But here's something that makes even less sense about mentoring groups. What if you took 3 guys who are all young and all in the other group, or all in any group, any age, any whatever, but they're all the same. So young, they're all balanced, these 3, they're all in the other social group, and they're all young. If I put them in a group together, I get the same thing. Somebody, okay, there we go. I get the same thing. I get one guy having influence over the others, but it looks like it's more even here. But like I say, I have trouble seeing the colors, so I don't know if it's saying that's more even. But theoretically, one of these guys wouldn't have any more influence over the others. They'd all be equal because they're all in the same social group, they're all in the same age group, they all have the same personality. So that part of mentoring groups doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It's something that I think SI needs to look at and do some more tweaks. Now, of course, like always, you could ask your assistant to do it. We'll say, no, don't ask me again because I like to get that out of the way. And he will create, in this case, 9 or 10 groups. We don't need those. He creates them randomly, I think, just like in previous FMs. So, and here's something that's kind of annoying. In order to get rid of one, I have to select it and get rid of it. And of course, it's not even cooperating with me. That's fine. I'm not saving this file, so it doesn't matter. So that's the 4th thing about training. And go back to the training squad now. So now we're going to go back to individual training because I'm sure you've heard about individual player attributes, how they can be trained to do certain things. So let's look at our strikers here. So we're going to pick our new friend, Atman, and we're going to click on training. And the last thing that you can do with training is you can train individual traits. So you can click on traits, and let's say you want him to start new trait training. We want him, since he's a striker, finishing training. We're going to say shoot with power. I don't know if he can or not. Our assistant's about to tell us whether he can or not. It doesn't matter. I'm just doing this as a demonstration. Our assistant says, I'm not sure that's a good idea, whatever. I'm going to start the training anyway. And this is like a secret weapon. If this guy learns shoot with power or move into channels or whatever you train them to do, that's an added, that's like an individual instruction that you don't have to add. So it can get them into positions to do things or train them to play in certain ways that their position that they play doesn't normally have as part of the instructions. For example, you can train strikers to do bicycle kicks. It is a thing in here. I don't know if I've ever done it, but you can. That's not something that's part of the striker role or part of the striker position. It's just an added flair kind of thing. I think probably if I wanted them to do bicycle kicks, they would have to have high flair. So anyway, that's how training works. I hope you found the video interesting. One more thing though, before we go. So it is Friday night in California. Monday morning, I am having a medical procedure. So it's probably going to be later next week before I make any more videos. I need some time to recover. So we'll see you when we see you, hopefully middle or late next week. Have a good one.